Golfing. It's a universal sport. Millions of people from around the world each year decide to launch white dimpled balls with a wide array of silver-colored clubs. While most people, including myself, are absolutely terrible at this activity, some are able to rise to the top and compete with others at a high level. And by compete, I mean perform the same set of actions completely independently of everyone else and then compare scores at the end. But what if you want to golf without having to go outside and dress extremely formally for no reason? Well, video games have you covered. Virtual golfing has existed for almost as long as video games have themselves. Every console generation has had its fair share of games dedicated solely to golfing, while others simply have a golfing game mode or minigame, such as Wii Sports. Some PC games incorporate golfing into their design as well, like Toontown, which possibly has the most realistic golfing physics ever present in a video game. However, all of these video games pale in comparison to the greatest virtual golfing simulator of our generation. I, of course, am talking about King Golf in Level 23 of Red Ball 2, a Flash game released in 2009. After reclaiming his crown at the end of Level 20 in the main game, Red Ball decides to do a victory lap through 5 bonus levels in the game. These levels are all very unique, including a maze of non-solid objects, a code that is revealed by touching invisible blocks, and an ending flag that moves opposite of Red Ball's position. However, all of these cheap gimmicks pale in comparison to the masterpiece that is Level 23. In this level, Red Ball kicks a player-sized golf ball off a tee, and then it is off to the races. The ball is guided through bumps, a disappearing platform, and an underwater section to reach the hole at the end of the level, where the level will end, granted that Red Ball has collected all of the stars along the way. Gone are the days of taking a stroke and waiting to see where the ball will go. King Golf constantly keeps the player in action, with the objective being speed instead of taking a low amount of strokes. A wildly innovative concept that Nintendo would shamelessly rip off with their 2021 release of Mario Golf Super Rush. Eventually, speedrunners managed to get their greasy hands all over Level 23 of Red Ball 2, competing to become the greatest speed golfer on the planet. Competition was slow, with just a few records being set by myself and DHA. Speed golfing was great, but it failed to get the amount of respect that it truly deserved. That was until the world was plagued by the virus. It came out of nowhere. It didn't take long until everything was shut down. Schools closed. Bowling alleys closed. March Madness canceled. Timmy's 12th birthday party also canceled. Gamers around the world were thrust into their homes, given seemingly infinite time to rot in their seats and play some video games. As the stock market began to crash, with company executives bawling their eyes at the sight of lost profits, gaming activities, namely speedrunning, began to boom. More eyes began to turn towards Red Ball speedrunning, with new players joining the community every day in hopes of playing some Flash games really freaking fast. However, the community wouldn't see its massive boom until January of 2021, when a stray ape that found its way into the YouTube headquarters threw several rocks at YouTube's server racks, causing a massive glitch in the algorithm that diverted an immense amount of traffic towards the It's Maximum channel. Of the new players was a speedrunner named XD Xbox Jaja, who was known for being a professional Mario player, whatever that means. Xbox first started Red Ball speedrunning by toying around with the sub-20 train strategy in level 11 of Red Ball 1, setting numerous records in the category. On January 30th, he also found his way onto the Red Ball 2 golfing leaderboard, breaking DHA's former world record of 23.133 seconds, with a time of 21.933 seconds. Xbox pioneered a revolutionary new strategy that involved carrying the golf ball over the barrier towards the end of the level instead of rolling it underwater. The speed golfing record was getting better, but nobody could have expected what would have happened just a few days later. On the 4th of February, 2021, the Augusta National Golf Club holds a press conference regarding the state of their Experts Tournament in 2021, which was set to take place in April. Due to complications regarding the virus, they knew that holding an in-person event this year was going to be impossible. For the past month, they had been scrambling to find a solution to the looming threat of having to cancel the tournament entirely. The thought of lost advertising revenue was harrowing. They decided that holding a competition through a virtual golf game of their choice was the best course of action. They spent weeks searching for the best, most accurate golfing game that they could find, but they were ultimately disappointed by every offering. That was, until they stumbled across a video on the XDXbox Jaja YouTube channel with the title, Red Ball 2 Golf in 19.767. Watching the video, their minds were completely blown. The game design present was revolutionary. Speed golfing was exactly the new idea that they needed to keep excitement brewing for their revised Experts Tournament in 2021. So, at this press conference, they announced that Level 23 of Red Ball 2 was the golfing video game they had picked. Instead of holding a traditional tournament, it was decided that whoever held the world record for the fastest golfing time in Red Ball 2 by April 1st would be crowned the champion of the Experts Tournament, given a red jacket to wear, and having their name immortalized in the list of golfing legends. People were blown away by this announcement, but most people felt intimidated by the sheer difficulty of the golfing level in Red Ball 2. As uncertainty continued to brew, one man decided to come out of the woodworks to try to take the crown. Learning about the revised 2021 Experts Tournament, a person named Tyler was overcome by a fiery passion. Tyler had become famous through his complete domination of the 18 holes category of Wii Sports Resort Golf. His phenomenal world record of 10 minutes and 14 seconds made him an overnight sensation, with his story being documented by the world-renowned historian Summoning Salt. His incredible passion saw him knighted by the Queen of England herself, with his name becoming the Sir Tyler that we all know today. Sir Tyler had effectively retired from golfing by the beginning of 2021, set to live the rest of his days as champion of the virtual sport. But when he learned about the speed golfing challenge present in Red Ball 2, he knew that he had to learn the game and attempt to take down XDXbox Jaja's masterful time. He became the first to learn how to launch the golf ball over the barrier like Xbox did, and he began doing runs. He set an amazing new world record of 19.467 seconds. Major news sources everywhere picked up the story. The golfing legend was back, and he was determined to fend off his record from XDXbox Jaja until the 1st of April, where he would be crowned champion of the Experts Tournament. However, Xbox wasn't going to go down without a fight. On the very same day, Xbox snapped back with a 19.2, reclaiming his first place title. Impressed by his dedication, Tyler went back to doing runs the very next day. However, he struggled to keep up with Xbox's new level of performance. He got a new PB of 19.367, but he was still 5 frames slower than the world record. And his life wasn't made any easier when Xbox saved yet another 2 frames off his time by getting a 19.133 on February 6th. Xbox played near flawlessly in this run, even managing to activate the flag at the end of the level without the ball ever even touching the hole. People wondered if this run would even be valid, but the Augusta National Golf Club voted unanimously that the run be counted. Viewers at home were absolutely loving the competition between Tyler and Xbox. Every new world record received massive amounts of attention, with people completely divided over who their favorite was to win it all. Xbox's fanbase began to gloat with him so far ahead, but nobody could have expected what would happen next. Everyone was caught off guard. Sir Tyler tied Xbox's record to the exact same frame. Tyler had incorporated a new strategy that involved letting the golf ball roll on its own for a period of time to avoid the friction that it imposed. It was genius. Nobody else had thought to leave the ball unattended, not even Xbox. Despite Tyler's brilliance, the run ended as a 19.133, no faster than Xbox, but no slower either. The competition raged on, with people who doubted Tyler's abilities becoming quite embarrassed. And then, on the 19th of February, Sir Tyler finally broke the tie by getting a 19.1, beating the record by a single frame. Interestingly enough, Tyler managed to get this time without even launching the ball over the barrier, opting to roll the ball underwater in the intended manner. With the help of a team of NASA scientists, Tyler determined that the barrier strat was actually a red herring planted by Xbox from the beginning. It was likely that Xbox was planning to avoid using the underwater strategy right before the April 1st deadline in order to easily snag the world record from right under Tyler's feet. Thankfully, he wasn't so easily fooled. Despite this, Xbox tried to keep up the act by claiming a time of 18.967 on the very same day. However, this run was not quite what it appeared. Xbox made use of a new strategy that involved 37 frame-perfect inputs at the very start of the level. The sequence of inputs shown on screen was able to enact a debug function through arbitrary code execution that would give Red Ball a slight speed boost when pushing the ball into the hole, able to save around 4 to 5 frames if done properly. This trick marked the 787th arbitrary code execution exploit that had been found in Adobe Flash Player. Xbox tried to make it seem like the barrier strategy was faster by secretly using this new strategy, but Tyler saw right through his facade. On the very same day, he managed to score this time. 18.8. XD Xbox Jaja had been completely demolished thanks to Tyler utilizing the Ace exploit without the pitifully slow barrier skip. With no more tricks up his sleeve, Xbox knew he had been bested and stopped his speed golfing attempts. Tyler was now in the lead, and it looked like nobody would be able to come close to his time in the month that remained in the competition. But Tyler wanted to make sure that his time was 100% safe. Using an array of supercomputers, he analyzed every single possible way that he could save time over his record. The world's top astrophysicists, the same group that helped Dream in his response to the ludicrous cheating allegations that were levied against him in his Minecraft speedruns, were helping Sir Tyler along. Through all of these efforts, they only found 2 possible frames of time save in his run, both of which would require task levels of precision in order to obtain. Almost everyone thought that Tyler would be unable to beat his time, but he had legendary golfer Tiger Woods cheering him on.
I'm fucking Tiger Woods! Let's fucking go!
With seemingly nobody expecting the record to be broken, this is what Tyler did the very next day. The run was a sight to behold. It was speed golfing pushed to absolute perfection. No mistakes, no visible hindrances, and no possible ways to improve. Every bump, every ridge, every roll was executed flawlessly. Sir Tyler had done it. The Wii Sports Resort golfing king had now become a Red Ball 2 golfing legend. Attempting to beat Tyler's time seemed futile, and as April 1st came around, he was crowned the champion of the 2021 Experts Tournament, receiving the fabled red jacket. Tyler had once again been thrust into stardom, but that isn't really what he sought after when he picked up the Red Ball 2 Speed Golfing Challenge. He just wanted to have some fun playing a game that most people had originally neglected. He and XD Xbox Jaja became good friends, constantly making jokes about a potential world record progression video about Red Bull 2 golfing in my YouTube comments section. Well, guess what, guys? Here it is. I swear, if this doesn't shut them up, I have no idea what to do. I don't know what to do. Well, if you hadn't figured it out already, this is an April Fool's video. The world records shown in this video are all real speedruns, but the context behind them is completely made up. If there are any points in this video where you thought I was being sarcastic, I was being sarcastic. I didn't talk to Tyler and Xbox at all about making this video beforehand because I wanted it to be a surprise. So, to the both of you, I hope this was satisfactory. To everyone else watching, you will probably find them somewhere in the comments section of this video. If you want to learn about the real world record progression of a Red Ball game, I recommend watching my hour-long documentary following the speedrunning history of Red Ball 1. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed watching and got a laugh out of this video, and I hope to see you back next time.